Mabuhay Summoners of Southeast Asia, and welcome to Globe Conquerors Manila. Day 2 of the group stage. This time it's going to be Group B that's taking the stage. Of course, quite the interesting number of games that we have today. But before that, we're going to be introducing ourselves first and foremost as your casters for this game. I'm Arctic, and with me is Chisto.
Yeah, and of course, Arctic, I think it's just proper that we talk about what happened during day 1 of the group stage. It was the Group A teams taking the Rift, and was Ascension Gaming taking the lead in that group with no defeats during the day 1.
Yeah, pretty darn good for the first seed of Thailand. And all fairness, I think another clear standout during Group A was the rise of Resurgence, because it's been such a while since we've seen Singapore perform towards the upper side of the ladder. So I'm just really happy for Resurgence this time around. But for Team Anything, second seed of Malaysia and Mineski, they have a little bit of catching up to do if ever they still want to vie for potentially qualifying for the playoffs come this weekend.
Yeah, and talking more about these teams, I feel like as for Ascension, we had a lot of questions heading in, considering that they had to swap their AD carry Lloyd into the jungle position. It seems like they are performing well for day 1, but I still think that they need to show that they can have that consistency headed into day 2. And as for Resurgence, you did mention that you are very happy to see Singapore perform, and I think one key player that you have to watch out for whenever you watch Resurgence is Raven in the mid lane. He's shown up to be a very talented player, so I'm very happy for them.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I guess this is a time wherein a lot of these teams that you think wouldn't really have the best showing actually coming up on top. A little bit of the opposite for those that you did have high expectation of. So let's go ahead and review these standings as we were talking about earlier for Group A. Ascension Gaming in first with a 3-0 undefeated so far. In second, of course, is Singapore's Resurgence with a 2-1. Malaysia's second seed, Team Anything, with a 1-2. And of course, unfortunately, the first seed of the Philippines, Mineski, unfortunately, even with high expectation, goes 0-3 towards the end of Group A yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it any other way, Arc. I feel like Mineski just weren't performing very well during day 1. I think they could do a lot better, but unfortunately they are 0-3, so maybe their counterpart, the second seed from the Philippines, Archangel, can maybe redeem our country for today.
Hopefully. I think a lot of the Philippines, their hopes and dreams, of course, are going to be with Archangel today as they head on. Hopefully they have a better showing, at least for the Filipino fans out there. But then again, in order for them to do that, they have quite the hurdle, because who they're facing up against, of course, the second seed of Thailand in the form of Mega, first seed of Malaysia being Kuala Lumpur Hunters, and of course, from what we're seeing here, Bigatron Esports of Indonesia. So, of course, for this game 1, Mega Esports and Bigatron Esports, let's see who comes up on top.
Yeah, speaking of Mega Esports here, they are on blue side. They will be banning Fiora away from Minky in the top lane, showing a lot of respect. Let's see what Bigatron Esports decide to deny here from Mega. And Arctic, we were talking about the trends that happens in these international tournaments. When you see these different regions collide, you can really see what champion picks they decide to go for. And as the tournament moves forward, they develop their own sort of meta as it progresses. And right now we're seeing double top lane bans from Mega Esports, really respecting the carries coming out of Bigatron.
Interesting. So I think it's not really much of a surprise, especially if I'm assuming that this Camille ban, sure, it's flex, but it's probably less on Zico, more so on Minky, because if I recall correctly, during the previous GPL season, one of the people that we constantly talked about that has been a consistent performer is Minky, who, if I'm not mistaken, is also their import from Vietnam, if my memory jogs correctly. But let's go ahead and check out the rest of these bans right here. Zoe, Talia, and Aatrox will be taken off the board as well.
So Aatrox is still 100% pick ban, if I recall correctly. Teams not wanting to deal with that, even though the Aatrox games haven't exactly been stellar.
True.
I feel like both Aatrox games we saw yesterday, both of them ended up dying over and over, so really not the best performances. But Mega Esports gonna jump on the Rise for their first pick. We did see a Rise top lane yesterday, so we might see this go into Warlock. Bigatron Esports are gonna respond with the Virus.
Oh man, so we've been seeing a hell lot of Varus lately.
Yeah.
I particularly bring this up because even though, sure, I mean, we have the AD carry role just by the previous patches, it's kind of a breath of fresh air once again to see these marksmen come back into play after seeing so much of Swain and all these other non-traditional AD carries that you'd send. Not that they were AD to begin with, but let's check out the second pick right here from Bigatron Esports. Hover over and a lock-in for the Oriana.
And speaking of Swain, it is available for Mega Esports. Are you ready, Arctic, to see another Swain and Virus lane?
Man, you know what? I'm tired of seeing the Swain bot lane, but hey, it's still viable, so...
It is available.
Yep, true. Man, I wonder if Mega's going to be going for it, though. Looks like a little bit of other priority in the form of the Shen. We have seen him use quite a bit in the support role, so still, I don't want to quite...
It's going to be Ezreal.
Yeah.
No Swain for us today, Arctic, so it looks like we're going to get standard marksman in the bot lane. We're predicting for Mega it will be the Ezreal and Shen bot lane, so there's a lot of safety in that duo lane. As for Bigatron Esports, they will be hopping on the Nocturne. I do believe it is already locked in here. With Mega not selecting a jungler in their first rotation, Bigatron Esports gonna deny one of the highest priority junglers at the moment with the Kindred.
Ah, interesting. So, with that said, let's go ahead and check out what's kind of not on the board yet for Bigatron Esports, because obviously there's not really as much flexibility with these picks that they've chosen. Very straightforward AD carry, mid, and jungler. We get to see a top lane as well as a support for Bigatron right here, and looks like in response to that, coming from Mega Esports, they will be taking away the Tahm Kench from Dreams.
You know, it's very interesting that Mega Esports decided to go for the Shen instead of the Tahm Kench, knowing that Bigatron has the Varus. Normally, you'd see Tahm Kench Ezreal pick into the Varus so that his engage basically gets denied. So, interesting choice here by Mega Esports. Trundle gonna be removed by Bigatron, really pinching the jungle role. I wonder what Mega can get out of this. There's still a lot of junglers available. Bigatron though, they're looking for a support. Probably gonna save their last pick for their top lane so that they can get a good matchup for Minky.
Potentially. I mean, given that looks like, as you estimated correctly, Alistar going to be locked in. So very clear we're going to be having a Varus and Alistar bot lane for Bigatron Esports. So that's actually probably the best aces that they could go for Bigatron. I mean, save that last ace for who has been considered your consistent star player. So I'm wondering what they will be fielding. Meanwhile, for Mega Esports, looks like it will be the Gragas locked in.
Now, what are they willing to blind pick here into the top lane? You need to find something safe for Warlock, unless of course we get to see another Rise top lane. Let's see, they have a bit of time here,
but still deciding on it.
It could be Gragas top lane as well.
Actually, there you
but
go.
No. Speaking of safety, they have the Ornn. Always going to be consistent, always relevant when it comes to those mid-game team fights. Call of the Forge God, still very, very effective with that long-range ultimate. So, let's see what Bigatron decides to go for against the Ornn. If they want to go to tank route, Cho'Gath would be available for them. There are also champions such as the Gnar that could very much deal with the Ornn in a 1v1 if they want to go that carry route. But Riven will be locked in here.
Interesting.
For Minky. I'm already excited.
I'm pretty sure you are.
I'm already excited.
Just yesterday, when we were on our way home, we were talking about how if we could associate with a champion, this was the champion that we brought up. And funny enough, Bigatron Esports.
Well, it's a Riven, guys. We get to see some flashy plays, but I don't know. I feel like when you cast a Riven game, it's either you get a really good play or massive outplay on the champion, or you're gonna miss everything and you're just gonna die. And either way, it's memorable.
True.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I'm wondering with Minky on this Riven, bringing it to Globe Conquerors Manila, just how well will he be able to deal with Warlock in this top lane against an Ornn particularly. It's not a matchup that we usually see in professional play.
Yeah.
Riven in general, we don't really see as much.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Riven. Probably Khan from LCK. Oof. But that was way back. That was when Gangplank was meta. Normally, Riven is picked in competitive as a counter to the Gangplank, but into an Ornn who can basically just stack armor and make the lane non-interactive. I'm very excited to see how exactly Minky can play this.
True. And with that said, guys, we saw a little bit of a peek of what was picked right there. And we'd like to invite everybody to tune in. If you have any friends that aren't quite in on the stream right yet, be sure to share it, whether you want to watch from Facebook Live, YouTube Gaming, or of course Twitch. We have a total of 3 streams up right now through Garena Philippines Esports, so be sure to check that out. And all of this for the total prize pool of $250,000. Convert that to Philippine pesos. That's pretty massive, regardless of what placement you go for. But of course, the true prize right here, the bucket list check for any player would hopefully be to represent Southeast Asia at Worlds.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the really. I feel personally that that's bigger than the prize pool. The slot going into Worlds is probably the biggest opportunity for most of these players. So I think we're just gonna have to wait as we load up onto the game. I'm really excited to see once again the Riven plays.
Oh man, I don't know. I think the last time I've ever casted a Riven is wow. Actually, you know what? I didn't even cast those games. The last time I've ever seen a Riven, at least locally, once was when my own pro team used it.
That's really.
Second was when an enemy team used it against us, and in both instances, the Riven actually won. So I don't know. Hopefully, the same holds true for Bigatron Esports. Hopefully, third time's a charm for them as well, if it were to continue over. But I don't know, man. I'm not quite sure though, because let's go ahead and talk about these countries in general. So for Thailand, Ascension Gaming, somewhat similar to the scenario Kuala Lumpur Hunters, wherein it's usually Ascension Gaming that we see constantly as a representative from Thailand. So there's that question mark once again as to how Mega Esports will actually fare as their first time in Globe Conquerors Manila. But they do have players like Warlock and What the Jess who have been pretty much known here in Southeast Asia. We have seen them in the past GPL, so at least they have that veteran status going for them within the team. Meanwhile, for Indonesia, has been constantly at the bottom of the pack. I'm personally always rooting for Indonesia every single GPL because I always keep my fingers crossed that hopefully this is the time that Indonesia performs above and beyond.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
As per history, I don't feel like Indonesia has been the best team at the GPL, but that will always change.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, with the preparation that we've seen from Bigatron Esports, one thing I really like about Indonesia, though, is that I'm seeing a lot of the organizations really step up. Bigatron Esports, of course, clearly one of them, which is why we are seeing their pro team right here. And I'm just really keeping my fingers crossed here, man. But it's really anybody's game. We've seen quite a number of surprises already yesterday. Why not today?
I feel like saying anybody's game is like saying Mineski won 3 games yesterday. That's
the unfortunate.
It's sad, man.
Yeah.
It's sad.
All my predictions went out the window. So we just have to hold off a teeny tiny bit, guys. A little bit of a, how do I put it? Player difficulty.
There was an error in swapping.
Yes. I'm wondering, Riven support. No, I don't know. I don't know how the swapping went, but we're just waiting for things to get resolved from the players before we head on. So just chill for a bit, guys. We'll be heading in a bit.
You gotta get it right.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of Globe Conquerors Manila, if you guys haven't bought your tickets yet for the Filipino fans or for anybody that's flying over here to the Philippines to witness the big event at Mall of Asia Arena, tickets are still available at all SM ticket outlets nationwide. Of course, if you're an international fan that's flying in, if you don't have a ticket yet, SM Tickets also has their own online website. Be sure to search it up so that you can purchase your tickets. Don't take it a chance on purchasing on the event day, guys, because you'll never know. I'm not even sure if for the lower box for day 2, if it's already sold out or if there's like the number of tickets you could kind of count by fingers, because the last update that the website or the page gave was just 300 tickets left, and I wanted to buy one because I wanted the jacket, but
you're gonna get the jacket either way.
Really? Are we?
No, I'm hoping you do.
Oh yeah,
I'm praying that you do.
Man, that ruins your 4 jacket.
Yeah, you know, I'd honestly I'd be so happy to meet any international that actually flew in just to watch the event.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
It's one of those things wherein for the love of esports,
for the love of League of Legends.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the love of, actually quite apt as it is the hashtag for one of our dearest partners here, Globe Gaming. So looks like we'll be checking out. Okay, I thought we
saw
gonna,
Kali's face.
Speaking of
you were being reminded that Akali is not enabled for the specific event. So if you see an Akali lock-in, that's an error.
Yep. Oh man, I wish we could have seen Akali this tournament.
We never mentioned it throughout intro.
Yes,
that's why we were being reminded.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a hey guys, why? Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and check out that trailer though, so that we know what we're missing out on, and hopefully come Worlds we'll be able to see it. Check this out, guys. Oh man, they just had to show Akali eating the ramen.
Yeah.
I haven't had breakfast yet, so to have seen that afterwards, is that her joke animation or?
I think isn't it her? I think it's her joke.
Okay.
I haven't played the new Akali. I was
Same.
never a big fan of the champion, but you haven't had breakfast?
I haven't.
Dude, that's a massive issue.
Yeah, but I'm feeling the energy right now. I'm pretty pumped.
How?
I don't know. It's esports, man.
This is your breakfast.
Yeah, this is my breakfast. Whoever, like every single kill, every Baron take, every Dragon take, that fills me up to the brim, man.
That's so sad. Food fills me up.
Okay. And competitive esports fills me up. But anyway, yeah, it looks like we'll be heading in a teeny tiny bit. Speaking of Akali, one of the reworks that I'm really looking forward to, which just came out recently, Nunu, man.
No, I feel like I'm gonna enjoy using his snowball. Like
I
I saw him doing this,
Yeah.
and then pushing it. I just thought it was so cute. The snowball was really, really great.
I can't wait till they release that. I'm fingers crossed that because Akali, I'm pretty sure going to be able to be used at Worlds, but Nunu, that's a little bit of a question
Probably
mark.
not.
Yeah.
No, I hope they don't change his dance though.
Oh yeah,
No, the one he goes this.
Yeah.
That's. I have sick dance moves.
That's okay.
Yeah, I hope they don't change the Nunu dance. It's so nice.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That kind of gangsta move. Yeah. Okay, guys. So you heard she's still pretty good dancer. We should probably come up with a Dare Come Globe Conquerors in Manila during the live stage. If this team wins, then if this team loses, then she still has to do the Nunu dance live on stage. I don't know. We'll just have to see, man.
No, we're not making any of those challenges or anything.
Okay.
I was tempted though.
You're tempted.
I was about to say like I'll probably do one of those challenges if Mineski qualifies.
That's a little bit.
That's something I'd be gutsy to say.
It's tricky though. Very, very tricky.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm confident.
Okay. Okay, but speaking of, while we're waiting for the game to start here, so we've already talked about these two teams. Let's go ahead and give a little bit of a prequel as well to the next two teams that will follow. Of course, we have Archangel, second seed of the Philippines, and Kuala Lumpur Hunters, first seed of Malaysia.
KLH.
So, if we're gonna look at it by history, during the last GPL, KLH taking down Mineski during the semifinals playoffs. I believe that was that a 3-0? I can't recall.
3-1?
I can't recall if that was a 3-0 or a 3.
Hey, we fixed it.
Oh, there we go. So, as you can see, guys, a quick recap of the picks from earlier, just so that you guys are fully aware. Mega Esports and Bigatron Esports. For those of you that are rooting for the Pride of Thailand second scene, Mega Esports, be sure to use the hashtag MGWin to show your support. Meanwhile, of course, for Bigatron Esports, from the peeps from Indonesia, or generally anybody from Southeast Asia that supports the team, be sure to use the hashtag BTRWin if you want to see Bigatron defy the odds and prove that Indonesia has what it takes to conquer at Globe Conquerors Manila.
You know, I'm already a fan architect. Bigatron right now, they've locked in probably two of my favorite champions at the moment.
Who's the other one?
Nocturne.
Actually.
I really enjoy both these champions, so I'm already rooting for them in this particular game, but I guess we just have to wait and see what they can actually pull off on these champions once we do load onto Summoner's Rift.
Curious, really. So, man, just by history, I think Mega Esports definitely has a better chance just because, like you mentioned, they have veterans in the form of Warlock, What the Jess. I could have sworn I saw Golden Feet at one point as well. I'm not sure if it's the same player I'm remembering or could be someone from a different region, but nonetheless, BTR, like I said, I don't want to discount either just because of the amazing performance Minky did show during the previous GPL. So, could go either way here still. So,
either way, huh?
Yeah, either way. And let's go ahead and talk about predictions for Group B here. So, who I'm estimating to potentially be the top two?
I'm gonna say.
Okay, you go first.
I'm gonna say that Archangel's gonna go 3-0 today.
You think so?
Right now, I am Archangel's biggest fan.
Okay. So, hoping on a Philippine representative to go all the way. Okay.
Exactly. Zero bias.
For me, it's a bit tricky here because three of the teams that I really love watching, Archangel, Kuala Lumpur Hunters, and Bigatron Esports, lumped into one group.
So you're not a fan of Mega?
I'm only not as keen with Mega Esports just because I haven't seen them yet. But looks like we'll be heading on to the Rift in a teeny tiny bit, guys. So let's go ahead and see who will try between Mega Esports and Bigatron Esports as we head on to the Rift. And there you have it, ladies and gents. We're going to start the day strong in Game 1 for Day 2 of Group B for Globe Conquerors Manila. This is going to be the first step to determine who will make it out of the group stage and into the playoffs. Will one of them be Mega Esports or Bigatron Esports? Let's find out as we head on to the game.
No, I just realized Mega's mid laner's name is spelled with a number.
Ah.
It's secret with a 3 for an E.
Okay. Wait, I was waiting for a reason why you particularly brought it up. No,
I just realized it.
Okay.
I thought it was spelled with an E.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. You don't want to make that extra something that distinguishes him.
Yeah.
So, putting in the number. But let's go ahead and talk about these team compositions a bit because we weren't able to get much of a gander of these two sides here. So what would both sides ideally want to accomplish as this game goes along? In what particular phase would they be at their peak?
You know, as for Mega Esports, I feel like early game wouldn't be their best spot. Having both your carries with Ryze and Ezreal building tier, you won't necessarily have the best laning phase. So generally, you'd want to play passive and a bit more defensive, because you want to scale up and head on to those team fights where double tier could really shine. As for Bigatron Esports, you pick champions such as the Varus and the Riven. You want to go for more lane dominance, so early game definitely going to be in control for Bigatron Esports. I feel like you just have to make use of their tools, but look at top lane now. Minky picked a really nice skin on the Riven. I'm a fan.
Okay. Well, towards this bot lane though, what I did notice for Bigatron Esports is that across the board, with the exception of the Alistar, that is a hell lot of damage that they have. Riven, Nocturne, Orianna, Varus, in comparison to Mega Esports, which has a lot of picks which enables the two key carries, the Ryze and Ezreal. So we have great sets through the Ornn and Gragas, have that extra utility as well through what the Jess. So all pretty much complementary, although it would be kind of safe to say that Bigatron Esports, they ideally want to utilize this composition, at least within the first few minutes, because if things kind of go even, then that could get trickier as the game goes along.
Yeah, you know, the team composition from Mega Esports, it's very front to back, where you put both carries in your back line, you put these three huge tanks in the front line, and as for Bigatron, I think it's a question of whether or not Zico and Minky can actually dive the back line, because I feel like we don't have enough... Oh.
Looks like Dream's trying to get the knock-in on from to what to Jess, just to get him under turret. Unfortunately, not enough, just by a centimeter almost.
It was one team away.
Yep, there you go. That's actually 1 unit measurement of...
Yeah, it's legitimate. It's a legitimate unit of measurement in League of Legends. One team.
Secret getting caught out there. So Zico is going to try to go for something. Looks like he is indeed going to mission abort though. MT going to be joining him just in case any shenanigans did happen, but looks like no harm done there.
Yeah, I want to see Zico try and have more priority when it comes to invading and ganking the lanes. Considering Bigatron do have better early game, I feel like this is the moment when they should be trying to secure any leads for their team.
Wondering though, at what point will we actually see Zico start impacting lanes? Because if there's quite lane dominance between Bigatron Esports, it wouldn't really be as potent for Zico until such time he has access to his ultimate. So hopefully until then, Minky and Bravo could pretty much hold on to their own, hopefully prove to dominate their counterparts even without the assistance of Zico until such time that he does hit that level 6 mark.
Yeah, I feel like Zico needs to hit level 6 before he can easily impact these lanes. Speaking of impacting lane, here comes Secret.
Yeah, Secret has been all over this map lately. Try to go for bot. This time around top side, we actually see Hayes kind of lingering in that brush to see if he could go for a gank, but really not going to be the case.
So Mickey just gonna go for that trade. You know, trading against Riven in a melee matchup is quite oppressive. There's this easy thing on Riven you could do that you Q in, stun the target, auto attack. You immediately dash out with your E. You take no damage. And your opponent basically can't do anything because they're CC locked for the entire duration of the trade.
Exactly. And, so far, we've been seeing a lot of these proactive attempts from Mega Esports, particularly from Secret, but nothing of which has been leading to fruition lately. So I think they're really trying to hold off on potential spearheads from Minky and Bravo, respectively. But I don't know. These past few minutes, we're yet to see that happen. Here comes he's in what the just. Oh, interesting enough. We'll spot out each other. That's going to be the knockup onto Zico. Secret already making his play. Flash coming in from Zico. First blood will be expended already. Teleport was coming in from Warlock. A little bit in too late for the party, though.
How did they know they were going to ward there?
Interesting.
First blood though, gonna go over to Mega Esports, but Dream just caught. Does have flash.
Yep, Dream gonna get the knockup onto two members of Mega Esports. Forced to go over the wall once again. Looks like he will manage to escape, but man, oh man, that was definitely a huge plus here for Mega Esports.
Yeah, a lot of flashes burned, but still just one kill going over to Mega Esports. He did secure first blood. Really nice pick off there onto Zico, so it will delay the level 6 happening from the Nocturne. And we did mention that double tier on your carry. See, they're already stacking it. Golden Feet and Secret are gonna go towards their mana items. Both these champions very mana hungry, so rightfully that they decided to go for that build. But yeah, as for Mega, they can just use that pick onto the Nocturne to buy a bit more time for themselves to scale up.
Well, he's going for this crab, so Vision, of course, will get spotted off by that ward, though. So full awareness from Bigatron Esports as to where the jungler of Mega Esports is lingering. But overall, it's been pretty calm first few minutes of this game, with the exception of that one kill earlier that Mega Esports was able to set up, but not really as much action as you would have expected, especially off of Bigatron Esports here. Meanwhile, Dream's taking quite a bit of harass from both Golden Feet and What the Just. Has to kind of back away there for a bit, stay behind minions. Very, very basic thing that you learn during the start of your run in League of Legends.
You stand behind minions?
Yeah. You know how when you play those tutorials and the announcer keeps bugging you, stay behind your minions.
Did you play the tutorial recently?
No, not recently. That was like way back when I started.
I haven't played the tutorial in 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing League for quite a while now. But yeah, mostly today it's just a bunch of solo queue games for me. Never tutorials though. Maybe ARAM here and there.
I haven't really gotten the chance to play as much, but anyways, looking at things right here, I like how most of the vision that we're seeing from... It's pretty equal vision here, although we do see a tad bit more offense coming in from Mega Esports through that soul ward towards the upper side, but definitely, as you can see, the cause and effect here with vision right there gives a little bit more confidence to both Warlock and Haste to try to seize camp whenever they can. Good estimate on this red buff right here. We'll be denying it from Zico.
Yeah, and I do believe Zico will be wasting a bit of time. He doesn't know that his red buff got taken. So level 6 gonna be delayed here a bit longer. It's already 8 minutes into the game. We haven't seen the Nocturne impact any of the lanes for Bigatron. And we were just talking about how they would have a good advantage in the early game. They just haven't been able to utilize it now. Travis mid lane, trying to look for something. No flash though.
Yeah. Bigatron Esports, they've slowed down a teeny tiny bit. If anything, it would have been much more ideal if it was Zico that got ahead in the level game. Try to look for a set in either of these lanes, whoever just so happens to be extended enough for Bigatron Esports to go for a set, but clearly not any clear instance of that being able to happen for them, especially with a red buff denied from Zico. That's definitely going to slow him down. And when you're Bigatron with this type of composition, it's not really, like I mentioned, you'd ideally want to try to hit hard within the earlier minutes, but with that not happening, then missed out opportunity, that's for sure.
Yeah, and if you talk more about this jungle matchup, Arctic, you have to consider that the ganking on a Nocturne is very situational when you compare it to the ganking of a Gragas. It's very easy to just flash body slam onto a target. As for a Nocturne, pre-level 6, unless the lane is way overextended, it's very difficult for him to actually lock down a target. So you need to wait for that 6, and once it is available, you need to utilize it properly. Does have the Paranoia available, hasn't had a chance to use it yet.
What I'd like to highlight here is look at the vision coming in from Mega Esports. Control ward in one of those less traversed paths for Bigatron Esports. So I think what would be interesting as a mini game to our viewers is watch how long those control wards last. If they actually last all the way to late game, then that could be a good read of some of the habits that Bigatron Esports has when not checking certain brushes for vision.
You know, I wish we could get a hover on one of those control wards. Get a zoom in, the real MVPs.
Keeping your lane safe for Mega Esports since what, 5 minutes ago? 3 to 5.
No, 5 minutes for a control ward is already such a long time.
Oh man, it's a bit tricky. I think that control ward was established when both Warlock and Haze went for that red buff earlier. So that's gonna be tricky though, because with those control wards up onto the side of Bigatron Esports. Oh, Zico kind of lingering here in this mid lane. Not really going to go for anything though, but this is what I'm talking about right here. Going to pass by that control ward. So the tricky part here is that, of course, with those two control wards in place, even if they don't have vision on Zico, it gives less scenarios for Mega Esports on where they could potentially anticipate where Miko is. So that's actually good forward thinking there for Mega Esports.
You know, if Bigatron watches back the tape of this game, they watch the VOD and they realize, oh, how many control wards we walked back from. They're gonna be so frustrated, like by not clearing them. But
I think this is the beauty of having a double round robin. Like if you're Bigatron Esports and you look back on this game, you'd be able to see how the enemy team capitalizes on certain habits that you don't practice. So hopefully this could be a good way for them to pick up on making sure to keep their sweep on vision intact.
I like what the Jess did. His control ward was initially being cleared in the tri-brush. He immediately placed another one, so Dreams doesn't get any gold from trying to clear that ward.
All that effort denied that teeny tiny bit of gold there. And
oh, they found one.
Bigatron Esports.
Nice.
So there you go. Looks like getting that vision off. But interesting to note, Haze has started this Rift Herald. Bigatron Esports is fully aware of it. Looks like this Gragas will be backing away for the meantime though. Gonna potentially look for a set instead. We are seeing a few pings here towards this mid lane. Looks like that Gragas will just go for a drive-through though.
You know, this early game has been fairly passive. It's already 12 minutes in and we're still in the laning phase, so it's been very, very extended. It heavily favors... Oh, that thought!
Zico trying to go for the dive-in right there. It seems that Haze will be joining the party as well. Knocks back Zico into turret range. Gonna get one more hit. And that's gonna be two members decimated from the side of Bigatron Esports. Mega Esports comes off big in the mid lane.
Yeah, everyone gets a piece of that action. Even teleports burn from the members of Mega to try to collapse to that. You have to respect the Stand United coming in. The bot lane contributes to that heavily. Golden Beat was actually the one that picked up the kill, but mid lane...
Yeah, Minky gonna try to get some work here. Flashes and tries to hold down Secret. What just gonna be joining the fray as well, though. Will he go for a taunt? Yes, he does. Flash taunt onto Minky. Minky tries to back away, but the barrage of damage from Secret is way too much. Unfortunately, it looks like Dream's gonna find himself in a sticky situation along with Bravo. Bravo tries to flash away, actually gets the shutdown onto the Rise, makes it under turret in the nick of time as well. Dream's taking quite a bit of damage from Cold Feet. Want to back away. Zico joins the fray, forces Mega Esports to back away, but wow, still... Even with that one kill, it's still Mega Esports that triumphs.
Yeah, Bigatron were able to collapse a bit quicker compared to the bot lane of Mega. They thought the fight was already over. So, they're able to at least trade one kill back, but damage has been done. The first Nocturne ultimate you see come out immediately gets countered. Quite unfortunate for Bigatron.
Oh man, that stopwatch, perfect timing for Secret right there. And that's the unfortunate circumstance that Bigatron's working with in terms of not being able to utilize that ultimate during the earlier part of the laning phase where there's not really as many tools that Mega could utilize in order to prevent Zico's ganks from being optimal.
Yeah, and now this is actually a pretty good scenario for Mega Esports. They've had a pretty passive early game, and we did mention earlier that once we head on to those team fights, it just heavily favors the team that has both Gragas and Ornn. if they want to start a fight, it's very easy for them. As for Bigatron, it's very straightforward how they want to start fights. Either Paranoia or the Alistar combo. But we're going to see a replay of this mid lane. Secret gets flashed on by Minky, but Minky still doesn't deal enough damage on this Riven. He was forced to build a bit defensively. Doesn't deal enough damage. That's why he's not able to burst down Secret. And the collapse actually comes in here from the rest of Mega. Bravo still not enough item on this virus to clean up. He does pick up 1 kill. But still Mega were able to secure more kills for their team.
That 1 sole kill for Bravo. Small consolation prize, but where it actually puts Bigatron Esports a tad bit far off. We are seeing the goal difference slowly building up in favor of Mega Esports, and it's through the subtle differences that we're seeing here. Bigatron Esports actually, okay, gonna go get the pull on that dragon just to make sure that no snipes happen. 2-shot barrage, Soren flying, not gonna get the steal though. Luckily, Bravo was able to get that last hit there.
You know, Arctic, if you're losing early to mid-game against a team that's running double-tier carries, I think that's already a massive problem. Especially for Bigatron right now. We did mention Mega still needs to scale up, but they were able to have a very comfortable laning phase just through laying down proper vision, always spotting out where Zico was, and the invades from the Gragas made the level 6 happening. They were able to buy enough time for themselves. Even though I'm a big fan of Nocturne, this one I'm not quite a fan of.
Yeah, hasn't been optimal at all for Bigatron Esports. You lose a lot of that impact that you could have put for Bigatron Esports had they managed to utilize it early. I mean, there's a lot of ways that they could have done it. Looking at this bot lane, you have a great initial set through both Bravo and Dreams, but because of the delay that it took for Zico to hit that level 6 mark, because of Haze trying to constantly look for camps that he could deny to slow down the Nocturne's growth, then we're just seeing the detriment that it puts Bigatron Esports in the long term. And until such time that they could try to look for those plays in order to recuperate from that, then it's just going to allow all the more freedom for Mega Esports to scale up and just ultimately reach their advantage towards the late game.
Yeah, and look at the goal difference here. Majority of the members of Mega Esports are ahead. Actually, all of them, not majority.
Oh man, that is quite the tricky situation here. And it kind of brings me back to yesterday's day 1, wherein most of the goal difference that we're seeing is much more concentrated towards a certain player. This time around, it's a great spread for Mega Esports, so that's a problem.
Warlock's building items on top of a ward, so he doesn't care. I'll just shove mid with my team.
It's gonna go straight for it. Rift Herald goes straight in. Mega Esports looking to get the full value off of this. They are continuing. No, actually, they will back up upon realizing the members of Mega Esports
we're gonna see
in
a
the
fight.
vicinity. Looks like Zico looking for a target to dive in on. Finds the Gragas, goes straight in. Rest of Bigatron Esports, though, converging onto Warlock here. Probably not the best member to converge on. Tankiest member, in fact. Secret gonna jump in, get the kill. Trade for trade right there so far, but it looks like Bigatron Esports coming up on the short end of the stick. Go straight for Secret. Minky getting the kill. Still 4 members up for Mega Esports. 3 members of Bigatron trying to flee under turret. Looks like they will succeed, but Mega Esports, they're going to try to go for a siege here. In fact, Minky goes for the front line, tries to get a lockdown. That's going to be Mega Esports going for the dive, and Minky looking very low. Dreams tries to sway off Warlock, but still Golden Feet getting the kill onto Dreams. The rest of Bigatron Esports are forced to flee as Mega Esports once again comes back.
Yeah, Bigatron, they pull the trigger on that fight, but you have to watch out for the Shen ultimate. Even though What the Jess was in the bot lane still, Stand United immediately makes it an even number. So, Bigatron once again lose out on a fight. Mega Esports take down 2 of the carries. Even take down a few more towers and just steal a blue buff on top of all of that. Another big win.
That is so much value for Mega Esports, getting 2 turrets in that mid lane, opening the map for them immensely, and that's not a situation you want to be in when you're Bigatron Esports, especially as we hit that 20-minute mark where Baron will be very, very much optimal. Anything Bigatron Esports needs that Baron more so than Mega Esports because the time is ticking for them.
Yeah, and I just saw Bigatron's members put 2 control wards in the same bush. Not quite as efficient, but it is an 8 HP control ward, so
okay,
you need to auto attack it 8 times just to take it down.
a little bit of extra time spent for Mega Esports to take that away if ever they do manage to spot it. But, man, a little bit of a downhill scenario for Bigatron Esports here. Like I mentioned, they need to look for that set, try to look for at least an isolated member of Mega Esports they could probably converge on. That could be one of those small steps to try to get back. But even if they do, like I mentioned, as the time goes on, it just favors Mega Esports all the more in this game.
You know, you say downhill, but I feel like for the most part in this game, Bigatron was never up the hill. They were never really in a position where they were ahead, so Mega Esports just really controlled the early game well.
Exactly. That's actually the best way to put it. There was so much control, which is why Bigatron Esports had less opportunity to try to even go for sets in that laning phase. And it's such a shame.
I'm looking at the items on Warlock right now. These are the items that annoy Riven players the most. Honestly, the fact that he can't kill anyone on the side of Mega Esports is probably already tilting for Minky, but speaking of killing targets, they want to start a fight.
Yup, straight dive in onto Golden Feet right there. Zika tries to get the hold on that Ezreal, but still have to back away. Taunt coming in. Looks like Mega Esports trying to go for the reinitiate right there, getting the knock up onto the members of Bigatron Esports. Scattered by courtesy of Haze on that Gragas. Looks like MT dealing with Secret, who is currently chasing him. Double kill for the Gragas right there. Already 2 members down for the count from Bigatron Esports. Looks like they have to back away for now and concede this bottom inner turret to Mega Esports.
It's another 2-for-1, and the one on the side of Mega Esports once again is Secret. It's kind of a bit of a deja vu situation right there, but the bigger picture, it's still Mega picking up the towers in that bot lane. They're cleaning up the rest of the map right now, and you know how at the start of the game I mentioned Secret has a 3 in his name?
Yep.
He's all 3 deaths on his team.
Being consistent. Just needs that one more assist. Then we have a triple freeze, but Zico, unfortunately not the best positioning, my friend. Gets easily taken down by Mega Esports. MT gonna try to get the slow onto Mega Esports to prevent any further pursuit on the rest of BTR, but Secret coming in from the backline, snipes down the Ferris, and looks like BTR are scattered, trying to run for their hills right now. It looks like it will be Minky that will be the sacrifice just to allow MT and Dreams to back away, but again, Mega Esports, it's the same thread. They're continuing to swipe these team fights.
Yeah, that should be Baron for Mega Esports. 5 members strong. Everyone just straight up walking through the pit. I do believe Bigatron don't need to challenge this, or they can't challenge this. What, they're just going to clear the 8 HP control ward. Now he's going to Shadow Dash over the wall to prevent any of this from troubling him. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, MT and Dreams, not really much they could do unless they could go for the miracle. So Zico already making his way right there. Ultimate has come up for him, so this could be make it or break it. Go straight in. Unfortunately, that's going to be the smite coming in from Mega Esports. 3 members of Bigatron Esports finding themselves in a tricky situation. MT just forced to back away. Will leave Dreams for dead. And that will be Mega Esports coming off with a Baron, coming up on top in this game. Who could stop them at this point?
I don't think anyone can, Arctic, and that was pretty close to becoming a steal. I do believe Zico was at least 1 frame away from being in smite range, so still kind of a 50-50, but you can't deny the fact that Mega are playing really, really well right now. They controlled early game, they're controlling mid game. They look poised to end this game very soon.
Not even needing to turn back, goes for that second turret towards top side first before making the retreat, and with everybody recuperating from the side of Mega Esports, along with a Baron-empowered minion wave, only time could tell Bigatron Esports this could be their last defense if they can't mount a proper one.
That felt good. Like watching Secret clear the minion wave.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean clear right there, and just goes to show how ahead he is right now. Man.
It's super easy for Rise. He even has Spellbind there. I mean, Rise does stack up that item very, very quickly.
It's like BTR trying to get a clear off of vision here, but not really as much they can do regardless. Okay, that's a lot of vision that they have right there. But yeah, just because, at least for Bigatron Esports, there's not really much of an extent that they could do, but oh no, Minky forced to flash away. That's 3 members of Mega Esports on his tail. Dream's gonna go for the set onto Secret. That will be the Karagas ultimate to try to separate the members of Bigatron Esports, persuade them to just back away. Dreams, ooh, that one pow from Secret does the trick. That is a dead cow, but looks like Mega Esports not done just yet. Gonna try to pursue Bigatron Esports. They will manage to back away, but this is still a tall order. They have to establish a solid enough defense.
Yeah, that's Mega Esports showing how far ahead they are. Like, they basically went 4v3 with 2 tanks with 1 damage here. That's how far ahead, but here's an engage.
Yeah, Warlock soaking up quite a bit of that damage. Zico trying to look for a prime target to latch on to. Looks like won't be accomplishing that. Will just force Bigatron Esports to try to defend even further. Golden Feet jumping in onto Zico. Minky tries to zone him out. Looks like will successfully allow Zico to back away, but at what cost? Mega Esports is taking down structures left and right from the side of Bigatron Esports. That will be the takedown right there, allowing those waves to slowly creep in onto the Nexus turrets of Bigatron Esports. But take note, Mega Esports just clearing the final inhibitor turret from the bottom side, really starting to squeeze Bigatron Esports dry here. Ace tries to go for a set right there. Zico forced to back away once again. This is going to be the final defense, ladies and gentlemen. Mega Esports converging onto these Nexus turrets. That's going to be the knockup right there. BTR, they're trying to back away. They're getting cleaned up one by one. True shot barrage knife coming in from Golden Feet. Nexus turret number 1 goes down. Mega Esports, they're going straight for Nexus turret number 2. Bigatron Esports, they're trying to go for something, but still they're just way too behind to even do anything at this point. Mega Esports trying to go for that Nexus right there. I think it's a clean deal. We'll rake up a few kills before the finish, and that's game. Mega Esports comes off on top in game 1 of day 2 of Globe Conquerors Manila. Well played.
Yeah, less than 26 minutes on the clock. It's 80-3 in the kill score. Pretty much a very one-sided game for Mega Esports. I feel like that was a stomp against Bigatron. So, great game. Well-deserved victory for the second seeds of Thailand.
Let's go ahead and just, I think it's very clear, like, what exactly went wrong for Bigatron Esports. But of course, for the benefit of our viewers right now, let's go ahead and pinpoint that one moment. Well, not just that one moment, but at what point in the game did Bigatron Esports start fumbling? What did they not accomplish, which led them to the spiral downhill?
You know, you don't want to put the blame on one single player, but I feel like there wasn't a big impact coming from the Nocturne. But then again, none of his laners were necessarily ahead, so there was no lane to play around for Bigatron. I think that was a massive issue throughout the early game, and since everyone on the side of Mega Esports just was ahead, it was very easy for them to set up vision, control where the Nocturne went, and once they shut down the Nocturne's early game, there's nowhere for him to go, and I feel like that's really what ultimately put them ahead.
I think I'd have to agree with you, and at the end of the day, it really comes to the lack of, it's polar opposites that we saw here. It always looked like Mega Esports rather, was always on the same page. Meanwhile, Bigatron Esports, they couldn't kind of quite find their bearings there. There wasn't a moment where I saw clear synergy between both sides, right down to even just the vision placement was an issue. So I think communication and cohesion is something that Bigatron Esports needs to work on moving forward if they want to make it out of group stage.
Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. That was game 1. But as we said, it's just day 2 of Globe Conquerors Manila for the group stage. Still a hell lot of games that we have had and within the next few days. Next up, it's going to be the first seed of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur Hunters, taking the stage versus second seed of the Philippines, Archangel, who seems to be one of the hopes and dreams that hopes to keep the Philippines alive. Can they, though? We'll just have to find out in just a bit. But for the meantime, quick break. We have been your casters. I'm Arctic. With me is Chiso, and this is the Globe Conquerors Manila group stage, day 2 for Group B. See ya. Oh, Zico trying to go for the dive-in right there. It seems that Daze will be joining the party. Knocks back Zico into turret range. Gonna get one more hit. That's gonna be 2 members decimated from the side of Bigatron. He's down. Secret Button just gonna be joining the fray as well. Though will go for a taunt. Yes, he does. Flash taunt onto Minky. Minky tries to back away, but the barrage of damage from Secret was way too much. Unfortunately, it looks like Dream's gonna find himself in a sticky situation along with Bravo. Bravo tries to flash away. Actually gets the shutdown onto the rise. Makes it under turret. Vicinity looks like Zico looking for a target to dive in on, finds the Gragas, goes straight in. Rest of Bigatron Esports though converging onto Warlock here. Probably not the best member to converge on. Tankiest member, in fact, Secret gonna jump in, get the kill. trade for trade right there so far, but it looks like Megatron Esports coming up on the short end of the stick, goes straight for Secret. Minky getting the kill, so 4 members up for Mega Esports, 3 members of Megatron trying to flee under turret. Looks like they will succeed, but Mega Esports, they're going to try to go for a siege here. In fact, Minky goes for the front line, tries to get a lockdown. That's going to be Mega Esports going for the dive, and Minky looking very low. Dreams tries to sway off Warlock, but still Golden Feet getting the kill on the Dreams. Minky tries to get the hold on that Ezreal, but still have to back away. Not coming in. Looks like Mega Esports trying to go for the reinitiate right there, getting the knock onto the members of Megatron Esports, scattered by courtesy of Case on that Gragas. Looks like MT dealing with Secret, who is currently chasing him. Double kill for the Gragas right there already. 2 members down for the count from Megatron Esports. Looks like a triple freeze, but Zico unfortunately not the best positioning, my friend. Gets easily taken down by Mega Esports. MT gonna try to get the slow onto Mega Esports to prevent any further pursuit on the rest of BTR, but Secret coming in from the backline, snipes down the Paris. And looks like BTR are scattered, trying to run for their hills right now. It looks like it will be Minky that will be the sacrifice, just to allow MT and Minky forced to flash away. That's 3 members of Mega Esports on his tail. Dream's gonna go for the set onto Secret. That will be the Gragas ultimate to try to separate the members of Megatron Esports, persuade them to just back away. Dreams, that one pow from Secret does the trick. That is a dead cow, but looks like Mega Esports not done just yet. Gonna try to persuade Megatron Esports to manage the Esports try here. Ace tries to go for a set right there. Zeke forced to back away once again. This is going to be the final defense, ladies and gentlemen. Mega Esports converging onto these Nexus turrets. That's going to be the knockup right there. BTR, they're trying to back away. They're getting cleaned up one by one. True shot barrage. Knight coming in from Golden Beat. Nexus turret number 1 goes down. Mega Esports, they're going straight for Nexus turret number 2. Megatron Esports, they're trying to go for something, but still they're just way too behind to even do anything at this point. Mega Esports trying to go for that Nexus right there. I think it's a clean deal. We'll rake up a few kills before the finish, and that's game. Mega Esports comes off on top in game 1 of day 2 of Globe Conquerors Manila. Well played.
Yeah, less than 26 minutes